some reason I didn't realize that.
Hello, anybody there?
Yes, I'm here. This is Becky.
Hello. I'm Becky and Caruso.
I was going to get set up and see if everybody was getting started logging in, and people are certainly logging in, so that's a good thing.
Sometimes it takes a little while. I like to do it. Wait a minute. Where's my video?
There you are.
There it is.
Now I see your face.
Well, let me see if I can. Oh, there I am. Okay. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing well. Doing well.
I missed being outside to see all this nice 60-degree weather we had today. I was stuck in an office all day. I'm like, this is not fair. Not fair at all.
It was lovely.
I'm here, Becky. I'm coming.
Okay, that's fine. We've got time. I can see now where some of the confusion has been in the last few weeks, because I have one link and Jennifer has created a different link. So I can see where the last couple of meetings got a little convoluted.
This is the first one I've signed into where there was that redirect message.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, obviously it's coming from Zoom, but I've never had that happen before either. So I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. But hopefully this will work and we won't have any issues. All right, let me see.
So I like your background there, Becky.
Oh, I know, I love it. I was like, okay, we're putting that girl up there everywhere.
So how did you do that? You're gonna have to tell me how to do that.
It's real easy. I created it in PowerPoint and then I saved it as a PDF.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
Created it in PowerPoint and
Yep.
saved it in PDF. All right.
Yep.
Well, there you have it.
Yep, very easy.
I love it.
Thank you. All right, Barbara and Ann. And who else? Oh, okay. Have you tried, Barbara, sharing your screen at all to see if it would work yet?
Why would I do that? That would be like planning ahead or something.
But you might want to try it before everybody gets on here.
I'm teasing. Hang on. Let me get over here. Let me just see if I can
It
get.
didn't even require me to enter the meeting ID or anything, which would surprise me. I thought it would ask for that, but
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd too. So yeah.
I didn't set it up. Jennifer set it. So we're actually using Jennifer's link. So,
Okay.
yeah, which is fine. It's all good. As long as we get it
Okay.
recorded, I don't care whose link we use.
There you go. So let me see if I can pull up my share screen here. Now the interesting thing is going to now. So am I the host?
Probably not yet. That's why I wanted you to try. Try and see if you can share your screen. And if not, then I'll have to give you permission.
Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay. Oh no, that's what it says on my end too. Well, that's not good.
Okay.
Hang on. I might have a solution here. Let me see. I'm logged in a different way, so let me see if it'll let me do it here.
It's not letting me share my screen either. So
It's not letting me
apparently
do
I don't
anything.
have the admin privileges on here that I thought I might have.
Well, that should be.
Hello, Barbara Smith.
Hi.
How are you? Another old timer, I see. Very nice.
This is fun.
I don't know. I think we're getting to all be old timers. I know it's called.
Well, I only see two of us so far.
Oh, I don't know what we did before Zoom, honestly.
Yeah.
Everything is Zoom.
Well, we went out of our houses. That's what we did, Barbara. We got together in restaurants and over coffee, and
Yeah, that's what we did.
this is second best, but it's saving my life, I'll tell you. If I was stuck at home without this, I'd be crazy. I really would.
Oh, I know, it's been marvelous.
So, hey, Becky, what are we going
Yes.
to do tonight so I can share the screen?
I'm emailing her right now. Yeah, because even if you sent it to me, I can't even do it. So
What are we trying to do now?
share the screen so we can see Barbara's pretty presentation.
Okay.
That's
Well-
right. I put a lot of work into that. No, I'm teasing.
Well,
Well, you-
I look up here at this view thing and mess around with it during some of them, where it says view on mine up to the top.
So I
I'm
wonder
gonna-
who has the host access. I guess.
she gave me a temporary password, so I'm gonna go try to log in and see if I can't fix it. So just talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Oh, right. Will do. Will do.
Well, my daughter handles these Zooms all the time for her social work agency. And, you know, to her, it's second nature, but it's never been second nature to me.
Yeah, it's a whole new thing, isn't it?
Oh, for me, it is.
I think for a lot of us. So it's kind of nice, you know, it's funny, back in the old days when you would watch cartoons or something, they would have like this science fiction thing where they would say, oh, someone could call someone and you'd actually see them on the video, right? You'd be able to call them and see
Right.
their face. And it's like, well, now it's like no big deal, right? We can see each other all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara, try again, Barbara, and see if you can share it now.
All right, I can share it now. How
Sweet.
about
All
that?
right. Awesome.
Goody, goody. All right, let me just see something here. All right. Well, before I do that, though, I'll just say, so how many of these have you ladies been involved in? These workshops?
You mean-
I've done 3 or 4, maybe.
Well, that's good.
I'm a sucker for the ones involved with health, though. Anything about health, I'm going to be there.
Well, there you go.
I've done a bunch of workshops. I don't know if it's the workshops you're thinking about, but
Yeah, I was just curious, you know, I mean, you sound like me, and I love anything that has to do with health and wellness. I jump on as much because I'm a lifelong learner. So I like to just gather information all I can, you know.
well, one of them I did was fascinating. It was put on by Israel, and it had to do with mental health workers. And it was so fascinating. They had a great big, huge auditorium. You could go in the auditorium, or you could go in to a chat, or you could go into a room where they explained how different people were handling different things. And then they had a panel of different ones, and they had one case history, and they all put their input into how they would handle that person. So it was a great conference. It really was. I talked my daughter into, she's in New Jersey, into doing it too. But we were in different things. We never even saw or talked to each other the whole time during the conference. Oh,
I love that. See, that's the other advantage of this whole Zoom thing is we can do things with our family, you know, when they're not close by.
Yes. That's,
So,
yep.
well, Becky, do you think we should go ahead and get started? Or are we
I
kind
was
of,
just gonna put another message out on Facebook, so hang on just a minute.
yeah, because we've got several people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that were supposed to be on that aren't on.
Yep, hang on just a second. Where in the world your thing is? It's on the bottom. See, that's the thing. It gets pushed down too far.
There's Sandra. Hey, Sandra.
Hi, I had a redirect.
I understand that.
We all
Hi,
did.
Sandra.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. And
I,
Barbara, the other Barbara's. Becky.
All right, there's something out on Facebook, so if you want to give it a couple more minutes, maybe we'll see who else shows up.
we've got 3 Barbaras on this.
Well, the other Barbara is me. It's my cell phone because I'm going to use my camera to show you ladies some things.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to get creative.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. Woo.
I like your background, Barbara.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No bird assist tonight?
You know, he got squawky. So I decided that my daughter would have to entertain him upstairs for a bit tonight. I didn't want him like interrupting our flow.
Mhm.
It's one thing if I'm a guest, it's another if I'm presenting, right? He's my little coworker here at the house.
Great. I thought that was so unique. I've seen cats walking around, dogs, but I had not seen a bird.
So, yeah, he kind of blends in with my background a little bit sometimes.
Very colorful, very
I have
beautiful.
plenty of birds.
You have birds?
And they're not birds, they're people.
Oh, cat birds.
All right. So it's almost 10 after 6. So why don't we go ahead? Go ahead and get started. So we're going to go around the room and let everybody introduce themselves, tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself, your business, and we'll end up with Barbara, the speaker, at the end, so she can introduce herself and then go right into her program. So
Awesome.
I am Becky Mossbrucker. I'm the owner of Forward Safety Training. I teach women how to change their mindsets and learn a little bit about what to look out for so they don't become a victim of someone else. And hopefully in the next week or 10 days, I will have a brand new community that I'll be sharing with everybody everywhere to get off of Facebook and to get on a different platform and feel like we're a little bit more secure and we can share things privately without having too much censorship.
There you go.
Yep. So anyway, so that's what I'm all about. So Ann, why don't we go to you next?
Okay, I'm Ann Caruso. I'm a longtime PWN member. My first career was full-time Army wife and mother. And when my husband retired from the Army, I went out to work and he stayed home. We just did a switch. And I was mostly in sales, marketing. My last 6-7 years of work was banking, a bank that is now owned by PNC. I'm enjoying retirement. My family is all at a distance. Matter of fact, I had a phone call from my daughter in Australia today.
Wow.
We were very lucky to have a month-long trip to Australia last January before everything hit the
Wow.
fan. So I got my
Wow.
good vacation in, and I'm cresting on that wave, by now I'd normally be on a plane to either Seattle or Tucson or Madison, Wisconsin, or Kentucky to see other children and grandchildren, but that's not happening.
No.
So I'm sitting tight. My good news is I got my second COVID vaccination today,
I did.
and I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I got it, Barbara, because I'm over 75 and my husband's retired military, and I got to go out to Langley and get it there. So, but if you're registered on the state website, they should be notifying you soon for yours if you didn't get it already. But that's about it for me. Proud to be healthy and happy, and got a roof over my head and a man I love, and life is good here in Hampton.
Woohoo!
Love it.
All right, how
Yeah.
about Barbara Smith?
Okay. So let's see. I have been a high school teacher, English, and I've done a lot with remedial reading during integration at the Lab Center for Reading. They had an integrated staff and student body, but Virginia in 1964 didn't integrate, or 65. So in 66, they were one of 3 lab centers, and we had one of them in Newport News at the Hilton School. And all the teachers in the system could come in and observe the integrated books and the children being taught in groups of 6. The children didn't know they were being observed or seen. And the following year, Marion Edelman, who is a brilliant woman, she decided to just, the system should integrate the first 3 grades only. And then the following year, a couple more, and the following, until they were all integrated over a period of years.
Wow.
And that's how it went. And then I've taught remedial reading in different places, and then English, high school English. And after that, I have, been writing poetry and nonfiction. And I just came out with a book. Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's A Brush with the Famous. I was looking for a copy of it. It's at Amazon and stuff. A Brush with the Famous.
Nice.
Yeah. And this just came out. It's a poetry, group poetry thing called Poet's Domain. So there are 4 poems, and that also you can get at Amazon.
Okay.
And then somehow or another, I've gotten into being a hypnotist, and that started in 1998. So they had a Zoom conference. They usually have a, week and a half conference, but this is the Zoom conference. And so the main speaker started speaking, and I was taking notes. It was very inclusive and wonderful. And at the end of her talk, she said, and we have a hypnosis award to give. And I'm still jotting notes down, and I'm jotting all these notes. And when she came to say 1966 in the Lab Center for Reading, I said, oh my God, she's talking about me. So I got the award.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yay.
congratulations.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
Love it.
All right, how about Dr. Sandra?
Okay, Jambasana, I'm here. Coach Sandra of Inevitable Growth Life Coaching and Consulting. I've been a coach for the last 11 years now. I'm also a university professor, and I'm a minister of the gospel, and I have several mastermind groups. I enjoy helping people to go from one stage to the next. Today was my tutoring day, so I enjoy helping people learn English, and as well as learning how to read. So, Coach Sandra Sessoms-Penny, Inevitable Growth, Life Coaching and Consulting.
Awesome. Great.
Awesome.
All right, Miss Barbara.
Yeah.
For the evening.
All right.
Your turn.
Okay.
And tell us a little bit about you and then go on with your presentation.
All right. Well, no, I'm teasing. Where do I start? No, I'm teasing. Well, I am founder of A Script for Life, and my passion, A Script for Life, is a company that points people to affordable wellness resources and helps them to kind of maneuver through all of the different avenues that they could choose on their wellness journey. So it helps to simplify things for them. And the reason I started that business is because I've been mentoring and learning and researching about natural health for over 20 years. And what I found was a lot of people end up they waste a lot of time and they waste a lot of money trying this, doing that. And so I wanted to help simplify based on some of my own experiences to save them time and money. So as part of that too, I am affiliated with a few different companies. One is I'm a sales rep for the Neighborhood Harvest, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on. And then also I advertise for the wellness company Melaleuca. So there's a couple different resources that I recommend, but again, we'll talk more about that as we go on. So, but I did want to thank you all for being here. It is my privilege actually to share some of the things I've learned a little bit over the years and to share it with you. And so to give you a little bit of history too about me, I am from Hampton Roads, was born and raised here. And I'm 58 years old. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up my slides and you'll be able to see a little bit better. But just so you know, for today, I just wanted to, again, welcome you all. And I just have to ask you the question, are you ready to be free? Right? So Sandra said, yes, yay. So being free, I'm not talking about selling everything you own and traveling the country and that kind of thing, right? So I'm talking about being free so that you can have good health, being free of things that are holding you down and keeping you from having good health. So that's why we're here. So we're going to talk about toxins today. That's the main topic, is toxins. And so it's a really heavy subject. So I do, again, appreciate you joining me today. So this topic and toxins are really important to me personally, because at 44, they actually caused me to have a heart attack. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that, what happened and what I've done to be healthy now here at 58, but also to be medication free. So I've been medication free for many years. And so we're going to talk more about that and tell you a little bit about my story. So I did want to tell you, of course, I'm not a doctor or nurse. So please consult your medical professional. I'm just providing education. So do with that information what you will. I always say I'm not a nurse, but I did play one on TV for real. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right. I'm going to share the screen with you. One thing I did want you to think about while I'm talking is, and actually maybe you could go ahead and tell me now, what is one thing you're hoping to get out of this class, or what's one of the reasons that you decided to join us tonight?
Well,
So,
for me, I have been in classes, your Daniel Fast class before, and I so much appreciated the method of instruction. So I thought this would be a great addition to what I've learned from you already. So I'm here to learn.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, we didn't talk a whole lot about toxins in that class, did we? So yes.
Well, I like the idea of not being on medication. I mean, I think it's great not to be on medication. And
Yes.
I, take a couple of vitamins. That's it. Now, hope I can keep saying that
That's
because
right. I love it. I love
I
it.
just think it's so, so wonderful,
Yes.
not to have those times, not to have all the medication. And I've gotten to the point where I cannot look at an ad on TV. I cannot look at an ad.
That's funny. Well, I will tell you, just so you know, I would never tell anyone to go off of their medications. I never suggest that because, again, I'm not a doctor. But I do think sometimes I think medicine has a place, but I think sometimes it's overused or used as a crutch. And so instead of finding the root causes. But it did save my life. Medication saved my life during my heart attack. So I would never say that medicine doesn't have a place. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm glad to hear that you're doing well with that. So who else who else like to say why they're here? Something they want to learn tonight?
Nothing in particular. In general, I pat myself on the back for being so healthy and medication free, but there's always something new to learn. I know very little about toxins. I guess that's
Okay.
what I'm here to learn.
Awesome. Good. All righty. Becky, did you have anything in particular, or are you hanging out with us tonight?
No, I feel the same as Ann. I take a couple of vitamins and vitamin D, and that's it. So
Awesome. I love it. So, well, good. Well, let's see. We're going to give you some more tools to put in your toolbox, as I say. All right. So let's start sharing this screen. You ready? And by the way, I'm going to have to talk like really fast. Okay. So you're going to have, like, as my pastor says, you're going to have to listen fast. Listen fast, because I'm going to try to condense a very big course into a small amount of time. So, okay. So we're going to kind of go. So you may want to go ahead and mute if you don't mind. And let me go ahead and get this screen going for you. Oh, now it's not. There we go. Sorry, it's coming. There, you should see it now. Yes. All right. Everybody see the screen okay? Awesome. Good. I see you. All right. So we're going to be free, and we're talking about detoxing. And when I say home and body, of course, these days, a lot of people are working from home. So it's kind of, wherever you are, you want to be aware of whatever toxins are available or around you, and the impact that they have on you. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Let me just see. Okay, so there is my family. So my husband, Paul, and I have been married almost 25 years, and I have 3 beautiful children and a cutie grandson. And as I said before, I founded a Script for Life to assist you with your total wellness goals, because I believe that wellness is not just a simple fix or a quickie pill. There's a lot of components to health, and I just like to make sure everyone knows what those are. So toxins, what? So what in the world are toxins? Well, like I said, tonight we're going to hear about the impact of toxins. We're going to identify the sources of toxins. We're going to get the tools you need to get rid of toxins, and we're going to find support for you along the way. But first of all, what in the world is a toxin? Well, here's the definition: a poisonous substance, notably toxic when introduced into the tissues. Okay, well, that means it's something the body doesn't normally have to deal with or like to deal with, right? It's not something natural that the body can use, is what it boils down to, right? And we all accumulate toxins in our bodies every single day. A lot of people don't realize that, but we are accumulating them all the time. By the way, I don't know, did everyone get their email with, I sent out an email and it had a survey feedback form. Did everyone get that okay? I sent it out this afternoon. Sandra, you got it. Barbara, you did not. Becky, did you get yours? You did. Okay. All right. Anyway, so follow along with that, because that's actually going to be a little, we're going to turn that in at the end. You're going to turn that in at the end, even if you just email it to me or email your results. And we're going to have a door prize at the end after the class is over. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about toxins and their impact. And this is what I call the get real you know, kind of thing. So first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about my heart attack and what happened to me. When I was 44, I was driving home from the YMCA with my 3 kids in my van, and I suddenly felt like I was going to pass out. So I pulled over on the side of the road, and next thing you know, I did pass out and technically had a heart attack. My husband happened to be driving along right about that same time, and a police officer as well, and they pulled over and took me to the hospital, which I was right next to the hospital. I believe God takes care of a lot of details, and so that was that's how he helped me out that day. But anyway, they took me to the hospital, and we had just come back from the pool, and what happened was they thought I was dehydrated. So because they did all the testing, everything looked great. I had normal health markers. I wasn't overweight. I didn't smoke. I didn't have any risk factors for a heart attack, right? So it didn't make it, they weren't even considering that really. I didn't have any like major pain in my chest. I just had a little bit of tightness in my left shoulder, just a little, but not even noticeably. But I had passed out. So I go to the hospital, they put me on fluids, they run all of these tests, everything looks normal. They said, oh, you're just dehydrated. So I said, okay, that didn't make sense because if you know me, I have my drinks everywhere I go, and I'm always drinking lots of liquid and water. And so that didn't make sense to me, but I said, okay, I don't know what else to do. So they packed me up to send me home. Well, as I was walking out of the hospital with my husband, I almost passed out again. And so they said, well, let's just have you wait here for some observation. You'll stay overnight. I said, okay. So I stayed overnight, and at 3 a.m, they had ran another series of blood work, and it showed that my heart enzymes were elevated. And so they woke me up and said, ma'am, we just want you to know you've had a heart attack. Great. You're having a heart catheterization in the morning. Oh, great. Made 0 sense to me, made 0 sense to the doctors. They did the heart cath. They found that there was no blockage. My everything looked great. He couldn't figure out what was wrong. Again, I wasn't on any medications. I just, no health or risk factors at all. Area, he put me on 4 different heart meds.
Is she okay?
What?
Is she okay? Becky, is she okay?
I can't tell what she's doing. She's frozen.
She's frozen.
Oh. But it's just a technical thing.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Woo. I mean.
There
Oh,
she's
Barbara.
back.
okay.
Are you there?
Barbara, you're freezing.
I hope she's okay.
Oh,
Your computer does not like having your phone close to your computer. That's why you're getting a lot of feedback.
Ah.
A lot of people will do that, and then it doesn't like it.
Ah.
Sometimes you have to go out and sign back in.
Can she hear you?
I don't know. I'm typing her a message. We'll see.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's moving.
Uh-huh, good.
I think once she gets unfrozen, it'll work.
Uh-huh.
She'll be back.
Okay.
I guess you realize that, you have to log back in. It just gets stuck for some reason,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it gives no warning.
Becky, you didn't tell us about yourself.
I teach women how to protect themselves in several different formats. So I'm actually an NRA instructor, but I teach them also a little bit of self-defense.
That's
So I
great.
do that. Yep. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years now. So I have lots of ladies who are interested in learning something. May not be firearms, but certainly something to do to protect themselves and nowadays and their grandchildren. A lot of the 30-year-olds can run. A lot of my friends can't run. So basically you have to decide, are you going to stand and fight or give the guy your purse, or what are you going to do? So we have lots of discussions about that.
That is,
Trying to figure it out.
yeah.
Barbara's back.
Yep, she's trying. At least her name is back. There she is.
Can you hear us, Barbara? I don't know if she can hear us.
Oh, she says she can hear. Okay, good. Yeah, that'll do it. Network unstable will do it every time.
Well, what are some of the healthy things you all are doing, like meditating, or what types of things?
I would say meditation, exercise, walking, trying to eat right, reading labels, things of that nature. To definitely reading labels to see how much sugar and salt are in packages of food and cans.
That's
Can you
great.
guys hear me now?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm back.
Really?
Whew, I got to tell you, I don't know, this technology thing, it works great when it works. All right. Well, let's move on. Now I really have to talk fast, don't I? Oh my goodness gracious. Whew. All right. Well, let me get back to, I was telling you about my heart attack. I was about to have another one just now with this technical difficulty.
Oh, no.
No. So anyway, long story short, they did a test. Everything looked great in my heart, but I was having heart spasms. So they sent me home on medication. I ended up being on the sofa for the whole summer. I was having 20 or more spasms a day. I could barely walk. I almost died multiple times, in and out of the ER. I just kept praying and praying and asking for wisdom. And I ended up working with a natural doctor out of Oregon, and he ran a lot of tests and ran some. I can show you. Actually, it's rather interesting. It's a whole book of the results of all these different heavy metals and things that were in my body. He, put me on a major detox. And so it worked out that gradually over time, I was able to wean myself off of these medications that the doctor told me I'd be on the rest of my life or I'd likely die. I was able to wean myself off of them and lower the toxin levels in my body. So to me, it's really important. See, the thing with toxins is we're all accumulating them every day in our fat cells and in our body. And they impact different people differently, right? So sometimes, most people, you have no idea how many toxins you have. So there's different kinds of tests and things you can do to determine that. And again, we're going to talk about that later. But I just wanted you to know it's a real deal. So once I found out what was happening to me and had some success in reducing those toxins, then I felt like I needed to share that with other people. And so that's kind of why I went down that road and why I'm here today telling you about toxins. It's one of my favorite talks. I've given it, I don't know how many times over the past several years. So in some form or another. So it was real. And so technically I'm not even supposed to be here today. So I'm glad to be here with you. Right? Let's go ahead. Let me pull up that screen again. Now I can share again. Let me just see how I can get that back out to you again. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it lets me, Becky. Oh, it did, right? Okay, here we go. Look at that. Let's hope that the computer likes it still. You ready? All right. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the health crisis in our country too, because again, a lot of people don't realize what's happening in our country. So raise your hand if you know anyone that has cancer, heart disease, mental disorders, diabetes, intolerance of something. And I don't mean like political intolerance. I mean, like, some kind of intolerance, right? So raise your hand if you know someone has one of those things, right? Okay, we all do, right? The reality is the top 4 causes of death in the world is heart disease. There's 35 million people living with heart disease. Cancer, 70% related to your diet, by the way, and obesity related, surprisingly. Stroke, 7% related to high cholesterol and blood pressure, which again can also be related to obesity. And then diabetes, which is type 2, is 90% preventable. So those are the top 4 causes of death in our country. The average 62-year-old, now we are not average here in this Zoom room, right? But the average 62-year-old is on 19 prescriptions in our country. The CDC says that obesity is up from 30% to 40% in the last 10 years. And what obesity means may be surprising to you. It doesn't mean like morbidly, like huge. It actually just means that you have a BMI of 30 or more, body mass index. And so 1 in 2 people in our country are overweight, and children are now 1 in 5. So imagine that, when children are supposed to be like, healthy, running around, all of that. Take a look around when you go out and about, and you're going to see that now 1 in 5 children are obese. And so there's something happening here. There's a lot of reasons why we're getting sick in our country, but one of them has to do with toxins. So Psalm 134:14 says we are fearfully and wonderfully made, if you're a Bible believing person like I am. But the problem is the daily attacks on our body, it's taken our toll. So we just weren't meant to have to deal with that. Our body wasn't. So let's talk about the sources of toxins. It's like, are you kidding me? Everywhere you go, right? Environment, in your environment. Now, you're not surprised, right, that your outdoor environment, your smog, your chemicals that are put out in the air, pollution from the, exhaust and things like that. You're not surprised by the air, right? But what about your inside air? The EPA says that the indoor air, which we've been all a little bit more inside these days, haven't we? The indoor air is 3 to 5 times more polluted than the outside air. How about that? That was a big surprise to me. And that's important, again, especially these days. A lot of us are indoors. And so we're going to talk about things you can do to help with that. Of course, cigarette and vape smoking is a pollution as well. But another thing that you may not think about is off-gassing. And what that means is there's things that, a lot of things that are around you that are putting off gases into the air. And so off-gassing means that it's releasing what's called a volatile organic compound, or a VOC. And that organic compound is out there, and common ones are things like benzene, toluene, formaldehyde. And these things are put off from new counters and cabinets, new carpeting, furniture. By the way, your cabinets can put off formaldehyde for up to 30 years. So it's pretty interesting. See, I knew there was a reason I didn't get like updates on my house, my house. That's a good excuse, right? Anyway, so these are things that are happening in your home. Now, of course, you're going to have all of the pollution from things that you're spraying, all those room sprays and furniture sprays and perfumes and all these things we're putting out into the air. They're actually putting a lot of toxins and chemicals into the air that our body has to do something with. Certainly, the other thing you don't think about is, let's just see if I have it on here. But we didn't get to that yet. But the other thing is in the air is when you vacuum. See, a lot of people think when they're vacuuming, they're like cleaning, right? Well, what you're doing is you might be cleaning, depending on your vacuum, cleaning the surface that you're vacuuming, but then you're throwing a lot of bacteria and dust and things like that up into your air. Even with a HEPA filter to supposedly catch all of that, when you do the research, because I've done the research, you actually see that a lot of that stuff is getting thrown up into the air. Vacuums are one of the reasons that people have a lot of allergies and things these days. The other thing is candles. I know I love a good candle, but the problem with traditional candles, of course, is they're putting out benzene and toluene and formaldehyde, and also sometimes petroleum, of course, depending on what they're made of. And then you've got your plastics and your cookware in your house, right? Your nonstick cookware. If you ever wondered, like, where's that stuff coming out? Where's that going when the finish wears off? Well, it's been going into the food and it's been going into the air. Just so you know, that's why you have to replace that every now and then. And then, of course, plastics, if you're storing things, especially liquids and plastics, you're getting toxins into the body. Think about that, though. You think about your environment, that means that everywhere you go, your office place, think about preschools and schools, any business is going to have a lot of these things. And think about certainly industrial places of work, shipbuilding, all of that. They've got a lot of toxins that are released out in the air as well. And when you buy a car, so that new car smell, hate to tell you, but that's all toxins that are just like flooding your body. Okay, so your skin, your nose, you're breathing in these toxins from your new car smell. Another reason I have a 2010 Mazda that has 450,000 miles, no, not 400, 250,000 miles on it. There you go. Anyway, there's another reason, right? Trying to be frugal, but it's a great car. Anyway, so now we're going to talk a little bit about household products. This is another thing that was just mind blowing to me. The more I researched this, whoops, let me go back. I don't think I can. The more I researched household products, the more I could not believe it. So let me tell you a little bit about household products. So do you know anybody with sinus issues, allergies, asthma, lung issues? Yep. Raise your hand. Most of us, all of us know someone in our family or ourselves, right? Well, there are 150 chemicals linked to those and birth defects, cancer, and learning disorders. So it's gotten so prevalent, these chemicals that are assaulting our bodies. Now they have from conception to 6 months, even in the placenta, these chemicals are making it through into the kids and messing them up from birth. So just so you understand, it's such an overload coming in. Speaking of kids and pets, by the way, they're the most vulnerable to all of these toxins in your indoors, especially because they're lower to the ground. So when something gets sprayed in the air, or like your dishwasher that's putting out those chemicals from the dishwashing liquid, that's not a green dishwashing fluid, it's spraying that little tiny particles right to the ground, where the pets and the kids are eating. I mean, are hanging out or eating. I guess the kids could be eating on the ground too, right? Anyway, so I just found that fascinating. So the other thing is, let me just show you this. These aren't things I'm just making up. For example, if you take a look, there's information in National Geographic about chemicals and where they came from and how prevalent they are. This was groundbreaking here. A lung damage study, independent study done, 20-year study. A study for 20 years found that using household cleaners, traditional ones, once a week would cause you to have more lung damage than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Independent study. So if you want any of this information, I can certainly get it out to you. But there's a lot of reasons why we don't want these chemicals around in our homes. So here's the thing, we're thinking the best of the government, right? We're thinking that the EPA is doing a good job of protecting us from things that are harmful, right? Wrong. Here's the reality. The EPA only checks toxins in 20% of the 80,000 chemicals that are on the market. And they don't check the interactions. So basically what we are is we're just a national human experiment. That's what we are. So, and it's not going very well, I might add. So why in the world are they on the shelf, you might ask? So here's what happened. There's a lot of press about that. In the 1960s, there was a lot of additional chemical warfare that was left over. And so they had to do something with it. So they decided to repurpose it and make it into cleaners. Isn't that nice of them? And also, it's an $18 billion industry. So the average family uses 40 pounds of chemical cleaners a year. In the grocery store, when you go there, there's over 400 synthetic cleaning supplies typically found in an average grocery store. So tells you a little bit about household products and why we're getting bombarded with toxins, right? Okay, so let's talk next about medicine and supplements. All right, let me see how we're doing on time here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hopefully you ladies can give me a little grace. Hopefully you don't have to scoot right at 7 because we might have a little bit of time here. So 80% of the health conditions that are listed in our country, 80% of them, according to several doctors that I've actually met personally, they say that 80% can be addressed, at least improved, if not completely resolved, by making lifestyle changes. So doctors even now agree the supplements are not an option anymore because of our depleted food supply. They, they say that you've got to have supplements, right? I mean, are you guys hearing that from doctors, right? But here's the thing, most supplements on the market, and I say most, are a waste of your money. So I know you don't want to hear that, but it's true. They are coated with things like petroleum. They have dyes or synthetic chemicals in them instead of real natural sources of minerals and vitamins. They don't dissolve in your body. They pass right on through. My husband actually has a customer. He does industrial sales, and one of his customers is the sewer plant. And so he asked them, are they in fact, is that true? We've heard this seen it for years, that, these vitamins and pills are not absorbing in the body, they're just passing through. And the guy said, absolutely, it's one of their biggest problems is trying to clear all those pills out of the sewer plant systems. So there you go. So you're basically just wasting your money. It's just kind of going down the drain. Anyway, so, but the thing is some of them actually are not doing you any good. They're actually toxic to the body. So just be really careful with the supplements that you're buying and using. So you want to make sure, even natural supplements, just so you know, depending on how they might have had a good substance when it started or a good ingredient, but by the time they make it into the end product, it doesn't even, it could be that it's not even active anymore when it goes in the body. So just so you know. So you want to make sure you really know about the supplement companies and the manufacturers that you're using. So just so you know a little, and speaking of supplements, it's not just supplements, but medications. Did you know that about 50,000 deaths a year are caused by prescription medications that are taken as prescribed? How about that? So, and then of course, antibiotics are a big, they're pushed all the time as like this first response to, any kind of bacteria or virus sometimes. And of course, our bodies are getting, our digestive tracts are getting messed up from the bacteria that's being killed, the good bacteria, the good guys, as I call it, in our bodies. So, the other way that we're getting toxins in is through our skin. So I had to empty out, as part of my detox that I did when I had my heart attack, I had to empty out all of my cabinets. I had to get rid of my skincare, my lotions, all of this, because a lot of them had bad chemicals in it. And the chemicals that were listed on the package were the ones that were listed in my report as being high. So just be careful what you put on your skin, because your skin is your largest organ, right? And so its function is to do what? Keep bad stuff out, let good stuff in, and get stuff out, detox your body, right? Well, if you're loading it up with a bunch of chemical and toxins and things that are blocking it, none of that's happening properly. And the other thing that's interesting about skincare products and cosmetics, but especially skincare, is the whole purpose. They're like designing them so that they absorb quickly into the skin, right? These macronutrients, right? Well, the problem is then they absorb quickly down into those cells, those toxins that are in there too. So, by the way, parabens that are preservatives often used in skincare is linked to breast cancer, just so you know. So just wanted to mention a few of those things. And then, of course, your food and water. So, I mean, you ladies are health conscious. I don't have to tell you about the depleted food supply. I don't have to tell you about all the pesticides, the jet fuel that's coming down onto our things, our greens and our grass, and then the cows are eating the grass. I don't have to tell you ladies, I'm sure, about, all the drugs that the animals are fed and the hormones that they're given, and how they're living in bad environments where the toxins from their own waste is coming back up into them. Isn't this a lovely subject? Anyway, I don't have to tell you ladies about this, I don't think. It's the SAD diet, we call it. It's the standard American diet is part of what's causing us to have so many toxins in our body. Now, the other thing that I like to show people is one of the toxins is brought about by preservatives. It's in food. Now, one of the places that we get that is fast food restaurants, right? So I like to show people my little buddy, Hammy. This is a McDonald's burger. Hammy was born in 2014. All right. He sits in my office, and he's not in any kind of, sealed container or anything like that. And the reason is because, see, the bugs and the dogs, nobody else tries to eat it because they're smarter than we are. All right. So it just sits there in my office, and I want to show you what Hammy looks like. Recognize this guy? Look at that. This is your McDonald's burger that's been around since 2014. Still looks the same. A little shriveled, but basically still the same, right? Well, then I even kept his friend Frenchie, because I thought, well, let's just see what, and if you've had children, you've found these yourself in your van or your SUV or your car months later after you fed your kids and made them eat their Happy Meal, right? Because that was their dinner. But look at Frenchie. Woo, they're still the same. Can you see that? 2014, still the same shape. They look exactly the same. Why is that? Why do you think that is? That's because if they even had any nutrition to start with, which is questionable, okay? If they had any nutrition to start with, it's all been preserved. And guess what that means for us as a public? And I had my husband confirm this as well too, because he has a client who owns a funeral home. And it is true, in our country, we are slowly embalming ourselves with preservatives. So they have to use less and less and less embalming fluid at funerals over the years. How about that? So if you're going to eat fast food, please, I'm not picking on McDonald's, by the way, okay? A lot of them have these preservatives and poor nutrition to start with, fats and other things. But if you're going to eat fast food, at least try to eat ones that are fresher, right? And just don't eat it as often. If you're going to eat it, at least know what you're eating. Don't lie to yourself, right? I mean, that's the thing. I eat fast food sometimes. I'm not saying, it's not often, but I do. I've got a few of my favorites where I eat, but the point is I try to get the healthier versions of whatever I'm getting, and I don't eat there very often. So anyway, just thought you would enjoy my little friend there that's been in my office since 2014. Do your own experiment, by the way. Get your own sandwich and see how it works for you. All right, food and water. So of course, water is the other thing. All the plastic bottles and the chlorine that's in the tap water. And then of course if you're drinking a lot of caffeine, especially certain forms of caffeine, can be very damaging to the body and cause it to not work well to deal with that instead of dealing with getting rid of other toxins, right? Artificial sweeteners are another big one. Of course, that was the saving answer, right, to diabetes and high blood sugar and all this, right? They were going to give us this artificial sweetener so that we didn't have as much sugar. Well, guess what? Didn't work. Caused a lot of other issues, a lot of nervous issues. As a matter of fact, there's like aspartame is a neurotoxin, basically damages your nervous system. And a lot of people that have cancer cannot live, cancer cells cannot live with one of the ingredients of that. And that ingredient, it's phenylalanine. I don't know how to say it exactly, but that's what it is. It makes up 50% of aspartame. So you want to avoid artificial sweeteners. That's definitely a toxin. So you can do some natural sweeteners like stevia, monk fruit extract. Again, be careful how things are processed. And that's the other thing, is the processing of the food, or even processed food, is another form of toxins that we're getting into our body. By the way, sugar is a big deal in our country. We eat way too much sugar in our country. And of course, almost all of us are addicted to it. And I'm talking all forms of sugar. I'm not just talking white granulated sugar. I'm talking honey. I'm talking, all kinds of sugars. So just be careful, because if you read your labels, you're going to find it's like hidden in a lot of things. So anyway, again, I'm having to talk really fast, and I hope you guys are okay with this. Anyway. So that's enough about the food. Let's keep on going. So tools, what can you do? What in the world can you do about these toxins, right? So the first thing you want to do is clean that house, right? So open your windows, especially if you're at home. And I know that goes against the grain with some people. They're saying, oh, it's allergy season outside, or it's dust coming in, or it's cold or whatever. I'm not saying open them forever. I'm not saying open them big. I'm saying get a little cross breeze going in the house every now and then and clean that air out. The other thing is live plants help with the toxins in the air. Go as far as your cookware, go to like a stainless steel cookware so that you don't have coatings on your cookware. And again, don't store liquids in plastic. Okay. So that's the other thing. The other thing I would recommend is getting an air cleaning machine. There's a lot of them on the market. I've done a lot of research on it. There's ion air machines, all kinds of things. I'll tell you one of my favorites and that I have in my home is called the Rainbow System. The reason I like it is it cleans air using water. It removes allergens, dust, germs, and chemicals out of the air, and it actually humidifies the air a little bit. And you can even put essential oils in there and get a fragrance going in the air. So, and the other thing is they also have a whole house unit, and basically you can clean your floors and you can clean your house with it. And it functions also as a vacuum, so you can do it, and it doesn't put all that dust and stuff out into the air, just so you know. So there is a special, and by the way, remember I told you that one of the things I like to do is help people find affordable resources. I have lots of specials to offer to you. I'm an affiliate with a lot of things. I've got a lot of connections because I've been doing this for years. I've been buying and selling stuff for years. And so I've got all kinds of connections in this wellness space. And so I love passing, because I love a good deal. And so I love passing them on to you. So you can get a free, by the way, free little unit, little air cleaning unit that'll do a room. It's $150 value. If you wanted to have an in-home demo, we'd have someone come out and do that for you. So just so you know, that's a special. So on you've got that little survey form. There's a place for you to mark things you're interested in, because of course we're not going to have time to do that here. But anything that you're interested in, feel free to mark it on that form, and I'll be happy to help you with that. All right, what else can you do? Fragrances. So remember we talked about candles. So I love candles. If you're going to burn candles, though, do soy-based candles, and also do the non-toxic wicks. In the candles. They're more expensive. I mean, I'm just telling you, part of the thing that you run into in health and wellness, as you know, is things are not always on the low end of the budget, right? So that's the other reason I like bringing specials and discounts to people. The other thing is essential oils. So instead of using perfumes, use your essential oils to put aroma in the air. So anyway, and by the way, one of the companies I'm going to recommend actually has discounted essential oils, because those can tend to be very expensive too. So especially for the pure ones. Okay, so household cleaners. Let's talk about that. So household cleaners, we talked about you want green cleaners, right? With your green, how did I miss that? Sorry, I don't know how I did that. Oh, with your household cleaners, you want green cleaners so they have no harmful chemicals in them. You want, and by the way, not all green cleaners are the same. There's articles like, here's one out of Consumer Reports about about seventh generation, how it's not really green like it advertises. So you just have to be really careful, especially things that are marketed in the retail stores. They're not always as green as you think. By the way, did you know who owns, did you know Clorox owns, is it seventh generation? They just bought them, like they're buying, all the big guys are buying up all these little guys like Burt's Bees and all of that. They don't have your best interest at heart. They want your money. Okay. So anyway, so just be careful with that. But so you want to get things that like the some of the cleaners and things I recommend. They have no child-proof safety caps. They're there's an EPA registered disinfectant. that's green that I can tell you about, and different things like that. So just be really careful with the household products. So speaking of tools, one of the tools I recommend, as I mentioned, is Melaleuca Wellness Company. And here's the thing, I wasted a lot of time over the years buying and trying different things I either didn't like or it didn't work, right? So I was very happy to find Melaleuca. I don't get everything. I'm not a Mela snob, as I tell people. I don't get everything from Melaleuca, but most of what they make is my preference, because I've tried a lot of things. And so here's why I use and I recommend them. So I like supporting a private, debt-free, 35-year-old US-based manufacturer, and I like their leadership and their values. The products, they're effective, they're tested, products are tested, the results in independent labs. I like the taste and the smell, and they're budget friendly. That's the other thing I really like, is you can get them, they're affordable, and they're guaranteed. So if you don't like them for some reason, then you don't pay for them. They're made fresh. That's the other thing you never find. They're made fresh within 2 weeks of when you get them, and they're delivered direct to your door. So they don't sit on a shelf somewhere. I mean, those products in the stores or even in some other companies, they've been sitting there for sometimes a year or two. You don't know. But anyway, and also I save time, which I'm a big, if you haven't figured it out, I'm a go-getter. I'm a type A, so I'm always moving, and I have to save time. And so I like it that a lot of the things I need are all in one place, and I can shop right online and they ship direct. So anyway, that's why I chose them. So back to, let's talk about supplements really quick. What are some things you can look for in a supplement? How did I miss that? Okay, you want to know the manufacturer. You want to make sure they're backed by clinical studies that are on their product. Okay, so all of the companies out there, they'll say, oh, our, vitamin A does this, this, and this. Well, sure, vitamin A does that, but what about the vitamin A in their supplement? Is that really doing that? You don't know. And the reason you don't know is because there's been no clinical studies on a finished product of theirs. So make sure the companies you use, the manufacturers, you see the finished product, independent tests done on those products. And so, of course, the basics you've got to have these days, right? We all have to have them. Doctors are even saying, again, is, you've got to have a good multivitamin, omega-3, right? You've got to have a good probiotic. You've got to have a good source of protein. And of course, now they're saying calcium D3, right? So, so just be careful. And by the way, if you get good supplements, and if you start reducing these toxins that are in your body, you may find you can actually reduce any medications that you are on. So even over the counter. So by the way, speaking of over the counter medications, again, anytime you can limit any of these things that have synthetics, those are toxins that are going into the body. And of course, there's a lot of long-term impact that we don't even know about yet, right? Because we haven't lived long enough, right? Anyway, so just wanted to mention that. Oh, we're over. Are you ladies? Hold on. I want to make sure we're almost, I can do it quick. Can you do a thumbs up if you're okay for like 10 more minutes? If not, you have to jump off. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Anyway, so back to medication. So anyway, supplements. One thing that I would do is I do use the Melaleuca foundational supplements, just so you know. But there are some other good companies out there. Just be careful what you use. Melaleuca essential oils. I do use their oils as well because they're pure and they actually they're 40% less than most of the other companies out there. And then skin, you want to make sure whatever you're using is paraben free. And so for your skin or your cosmetics as well, there's a lot of chemicals. Again, I use the Melaleuca brand for that, but again, just be careful what you're buying. All right. Speaking of that, I did want to tell you there's a quick special. If you are interested in trying Melaleuca, the wellness company, it's only $1 to open a shopping account with them to try them out. They're the largest online shopping club in North America. You get 30 to 50% off, and this is for new or previous customers. So if you've been a Melaleuca customer in the past and you want to re-enroll, it's been more than 6 months, let me know. I'll help you out with that. You get $100 of free products, by the way, and you get 2 packs of their natural disinfecting wipes. So all of that is what you get for $1 to open up the shopping account. You get that with your first order. You get $20 free with that first order. And you can get referral thank you checks if you love it and you want to recommend friends. By the way, they are guaranteed and you can cancel shopping anytime. So just let me know, mark that on your survey form if you'd like to give those a try and just see if that's another tool for your toolbox. All right. Speaking of tools, let's see. The other thing we want to talk about is water. We use in our home, we use a Berkey water system. And the other thing that we use is we've used Kinetico in the past. I'd love to hear your comments, maybe email me if you've got other sources for good water, but just be careful that that they're filtering out a lot of, they go to a deeper level to filter out contaminants and toxins because water can be very toxic. Remember to drink lots of water, right? That's another thing. But you know that. So let me go ahead and see, where am I? Food. Let's talk about food. Okay, so of course with food, you want to have it toxin free and fresh, right? Most of the food in the grocery store has been sitting there a week or two or more, even if it's supposedly fresh, right? So one of the sources that I use, and like I said, I'm also a rep for, is the Neighborhood Harvest. It's a private company. I like supporting private business. It's local to Suffolk. You can see a picture of the greenhouse there. The greens are grown there sustainably year round. It's non-GMO seed, 0 pesticides, by the way, 0. And so there's no outside contaminants. And so they partner with a lot of other local farms and businesses, like they bring out fresh baked bread from the baker's crust, pre-made meals. They bring out organic chicken, glass bottle milk, all kinds of different partners. They're very picky. And so they partner with a lot of folks. And the other thing that I like is they bring it right to your door. They deliver. So they're one of the tools that I use to eat healthier. Of course, the other thing you want to do is when you're reading your labels, avoid MSG, high fructose corn syrup, and artificial sweeteners, right? Remember that, Sandra, from our Daniel Plan class? So like I said, I'm talking fast. If you're interested in trying the Neighborhood Harvest, I will tell you there's another special. I can give you free registration. There's no contractor minimums. You don't have to get an order every week. Your delivery is only $2.99. And we deliver it to your cooler. And by the way, if you're an existing Neighborhood Harvest customer, meaning you've gotten an order within the past 6 months, I can give you a $25 referral credit if you send folks my way, use my code or send them my way, by the way. So I love free food. And then also we do free salads for any group. But if you're returning, if you've been a customer 6 months or more before, I can get you registered again for free and get you all the discounts. Okay, so let me know. All right, we're talking about rebooting. What tools do we need to reboot our body once we've got the toxins out? What do we got to do? Of course, we're going to go get our digestive tract in order. So this is a picture of your digestive tract. I normally talk a lot about that, but basically it just means food in needs to be food out, right? So you don't want to have a lot of buildup in your digestive tract because that's where toxins get back out into the body. So less is more, meaning this is how we normally eat in our country. And this is how we should be eating. I know there's all kinds of diets and there's intermittent fasting and all kinds of programs, but basically what you want to do, what's been proven over time, is to eat a bigger breakfast, healthier snacks, to eat basically a little more often and smaller portions and eat less as you get down into the evening. And that's less that your body has to process while you're sleeping. All right, fasting and cleansing. You can do it. There's all kinds of things you can do. There's benefits. There's all kinds of different ones, whether you're using foods that you're fasting from or different supplements and shakes. There's certainly heavy metal. You want to get those out of your body. So by the way, I am connected with a naturopath that does hair analysis, and she's offered a $50 off of your hair analysis to find out what toxins and metals are in your body. So let me know on your form if you're interested in that. Also, Beamer. If you haven't heard of Beamer, it's another interesting device coming out of Europe. They're using them in hospitals, everything over there. They're just now in the US 5 years ago. It's a therapeutic device that sends unique impulses to the body, stimulates your circulation and muscles. Okay. It's great for pain. It's great for so many different things. It helps to detox because it makes the blood go and get those toxins out. Right. So, so I have a way you can get 3 free sessions. It saves you $75. If you wanted to try it out, there's no obligation or anything like that. Just so you know, put that on your form. And then massages, of course, lymphatic massage. There's all these different types of massages that gets the blood going, gets the lymph nodes cleaned out. Again, that's great for detoxing. And I have a special on that as well, if you're interested on that. And then the main thing, of course, when you're going through a fast or cleanse is to make sure you're resting. You don't exercise as much during that fast or cleanse, and just expect that in the beginning, you might feel a little yucky for about the first day or two as you're getting all these toxins released out into the body. But then after that, you should feel a lot better, and maybe even lose some weight. It's a great kickstart for your weight loss. So anyway, but you can do it. So let me know, mark on the form if you're interested in learning more about different kinds of fast and getting some support for that. All right. Once you've fasted and you've gotten this junk out, what do you want to do? You want to get it right. You want to build your immune system. So how do you do that? You ladies know, you get lots of sleep, you eat right, you take your supplements, pray if that's your inclination. I believe it's critical. Exercise, reduce your medications if you can. Again, that's not me talking. I'm saying you may be able to. You and your doctor may find you can. And then that Beamer again helps with your immune system as well. So that's it. If you can believe it, I know we're a little over. Thank you for your patience with our technical difficulties and getting started a little later. But that's it. So how do you get support? Friend me. So I help folks with personal total wellness plans. I help simplify. I'll do a free consult for you just to kind of see if it's, just to give you some ideas. Of course, I offer a lot of discounts on various wellness products, as we've talked about. I do a healthy living Bible study called the Daniel Plan. I do that regularly every quarter at my church and also on Zoom. So if you or anyone you know is interested in that, it's an amazing study. And then there's some different networking groups and things, and I'm also a guest speaker. So my Facebook page is A Script for Life. So if you don't mind going there, liking the page, following me, that'd be great. My website here is listed below as well. And so here's my question to you if you want to unmute, and we are at the end. You ladies are awesome. So I have one question for you. What you gonna do, right? We've talked, I've just been like this fire hose of all this information, right? And all these things, and I hope it's been a benefit to you. I hope you've learned something, a thing or two, and that you can take away tonight. But so my question is, tell the group, what is it? What's one thing, just one thing from what you've heard tonight that you're going to do? What are you going to do? Maybe, are you going to change something in your environment? Are you going to change something that's going into your body? Are you going to change what's going on your body? Are you going to do a cleanse of some sort? And are you going to start a different exercise? Are you going to connect? Out with folks of like minds. And by the way, speaking of connecting, make sure you fill out your general interest or speed survey. And because I'm going to do a drawing for a prize for everybody that turns that in. So I'll email that out to the group and let you know who won. But anyway, unmute, tell me one thing, tell the group one thing. I'd love to hear it.
I'm going to work in my body.
You're going to do what?
Work on something inside my body. Work on the body, what I put in.
Inside. Awesome. I love it, Sandra. Who else? And you're muted. Let me see. Can I unmute her?
Unmute. All right,
Oh,
there
you go.
it is.
Got it.
Okay, can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Yes. Yay.
Okay. I think there's two things I want to explore. Of course, I would have to get my husband on board if I'm going to revolutionize that food pyramid and eat bigger and earlier in the day. But I'm going to look into that, and I need to know a little bit more about fasting and cleansing.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk more about that offline. We can connect and do, just talk generally and get a little more idea of what kind of fast you're looking to do once you know what they are. So that'd be great. Who else? One thing.
I agree with Dr. Sandra. Just, pay more attention to what kind of things I'm eating.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. So, all right, did we lose Barbara? I think we did, didn't we?
So, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. So you ladies, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I really do. I hope it's been beneficial to you. It's been a privilege of mine to join you on your wellness journey. And I thank you for being part of it tonight.
Thank you, Barbara. It was very interesting.
Lots
and
of good
informative.
information.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. So like I say, turn in your surveys and we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Have a great night.
You
Thanks,
too.
Barbara.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.